Well, this one thing I think needs to be said is that having a chaplain on site or having a chaplain retained by the company lets the staff know that the company cares more about the individual than just their financial performance. They actually care about their spiritual well-being.
Gives us another person that we can refer our employees to handle their issues, personal problems, or just help in encouragement and helping to lead them.
This was the first experience that I've ever had where we had a chaplain on staff. And so when I first came on board, I wasn't sure exactly how it was going to work. But I have to say, within a very short amount of time, after getting to know our chaplain, first and foremost, he was truly a man of God. And he walked the walk every day, and he role modeled for each and every one of us. He was quite a leader among our senior management and all of our employees.
I think the most impactful thing for me was realizing that there's a different relationship between a chaplain and an employee. I think distinct from any other kind of relationship that exists.
You know, when key members have different problems in their lives, it can almost cripple a company. But when they're able to work through these problems and not only feel that they have the support from you, but the support from the dealership, it just makes them better employees for the long run, I believe.
The more that an employee feels supported, comfortable, and that they have someone that they can go to, the more likely they are to produce at their highest level for the company.
There's a sense of confidentiality, advocacy, and an unbiasedness that a chaplain brings to an organization, because a manager has an agenda, the owner of a company has an agenda, even a consultant has an agenda that a chaplain just doesn't have.
For me personally, I've had some health issues, and I've had an opportunity to share with the chaplain that was here some of my challenges, and I was able to be guided through a very difficult time in my life.
You know, I can remember, several different employees dealing with just some really deep personal issues, and the opportunity for them to come and spend some time with you and really just dive into these issues that they couldn't normally speak to their comrades at work or even sometimes their spouses at home.
I would say it was having a brother in Christ to be able to speak to who knew basically the lay of the land. I didn't have to talk in generalities. I didn't have to keep it obtuse. You knew the situation, you knew what was going on. And so when we could talk about something, we could really get into the meat of the issue.
I was able to share, talk, whether it was business related, whether it was personal related, just another great sounding board to bounce ideas off of and certain issues that would come up. Many times as an executive, you face things or face issues or face problems, and you may not have somebody to go to bounce those ideas off of, and by having a company chaplain, I could just sit down, go to lunch, talk about some ideas, talk about some issues I was working through, and have a great sounding board. Most importantly, from a Christian perspective, which is ultimately our desires to bring glory to Christ.
When I was, down and out and didn't know what to do, sometimes you just have to go and have an ear, someone that will listen to you. And that's what the chaplain in my organization did for me.
They could talk about their faith at work and not be worried about ridicule or worry about, are they saying too much, or should they even say anything? That was a transition. That didn't happen overnight. But that comes, I believe, with the tacit endorsement of having a chaplain. The fact that the company was intentional about this. This wasn't an accident. It wasn't just a friend of a friend kind of thing. You were brought on, you were hired intentionally for the spiritual well-being of the company.
I can remember several key issues. We had a gentleman that lost several family members in a really short period of time, one to cancer and one to an accident, and just there's really no words that I had, just to try to encourage him, but getting them connected with the chaplain here at the dealership was just immeasurable, The way that you were able to get him through that and bring him out the other side and really become a stronger person throughout it was just incredible.